Welcome to our timesheet configuration video. This video reviews how to easily configure our timesheets to meet your unique needs. We start here on the most basic timesheet, and then during this video we add more and more functionality. So to begin, we see that we have projects and activities for external projects such as the Beacon Bridge project and for internal projects such as the administration project. Now we're going to start to add functionality. We will go to our timesheet configuration button here, and we will enable displaying internal projects in red and displaying tasks on the timesheet. We'll save, and now view the changes on our timesheet. And now we see our internal project highlighted in red, and we see tasks here, which we have options to select and provide more clarity into where hours are actually spent during a project. Next, let's enable expense report allowance and price lists. Our expense report allowance allows users to input mileage and expenses directly into the timesheet, and our price list allows us to price a resource based on what they've actually done during a project. In other words, priced based on their roles. Now let's look at adding some functionality to the timesheet that will increase the value to the user, the resource themselves. So we'd like to point out first that our timesheet is not just a medium for management to learn about the hours a particular resource has worked. It's also a way for resources to learn about the expectations of management, and a way to take a spot check of actual hours worked versus estimated hours. We can enable this ability by going back to our configuration tool and now clicking on our estimations and actuals and enabling for both project and activity our estimated versus our actual hours. Saving. And now we can see here actual hours versus estimated hours for each resource and for each project. If a resource is sick or on vacation, they will need to enter time into certain wage categories. We can enable these wage categories by going over here to our resource menu, selecting configuration and finance, and down here we can enable the particular wage categories that we want, and we'll allow our resource to add time into vacation. Here we can define how many hours we expect a resource to work per day, and here we can click this. This timesheet variance control will hold our resources accountable to the number of hours they're submitting. It will actually provide an error message if the variance is too great based on our expectations of them that we defined here. So let's go back to our timesheet. And now we see that we can add vacation time down here. And we should also note that we have a variance here. If we were to submit our timesheet by clicking on the submit button, we will get an error message if the variance is too great. And here we go. Now let's look at the approval process. We go over to our approval tab, and here we have the ability to define and determine who can see and approve timesheets. We can also determine who can edit prices and rates during the approval process. We can set up automatic reminders here, and as you can see, we could, for example, click on a draft reminder, which will now ensure that if a resource, let's say, has not started their timesheet by Tuesday at 2 in the afternoon, they will get an automatic reminder. If they have not submitted their timesheet, let's say by Monday of the following week by 2 p.m., they will also get a reminder. We can also set up an automatic reminder for managers who have not approved timesheets, let's say by Wednesday of the following week. by 2 p.m. in the afternoon. Timesheets, as you can see, are easily configurable in our system so that you and your company can get the most from the software. Thank you very much.